I'll feed it in with the first color of sock yarn, the bright pink. We don't want any extra tension on it. So we have pink yarn going from half mark to half mark. We have our first row. First row is most important. It will be what gets hung. On our first row, onto the left-hand side over here, where my fingers are, wrap that first stitch. You don't have your wire, take-up wire up at the top on, so you're going to need to hand control it for the first 6 rows. Not too tight, crank around. Wrap the right side over here, where my hand is. We're wrapping the right side. On this pass on the left, we're going to lift. We lift on the right hand side. Now on this pass to the left, we're going to wrap the needle that was lifted before. And we'll do the same on the right. We'll wrap the needle that was just lifted on the previous pass. Now we've done our 6 rows, and we're going to our heel V-forks, and we're going to put our yarn in the take-up wire up above. Now, just the norm. Nothing special from here on out, just the normal toe. Now we did those first unusual passes at the beginning, and it reaches to increase. This was first introduced, this idea of hanging your toes, first introduced in a Tuttle lesson. And the Tuttle sock machine was patented in 1874 or thereabouts. I've seen a couple of different dates on that. And the lessons came out at around 1878, between 74 and 78. So this is by no means new. So we are at our target needle, and being at our target needle and having shaped it here, lifted it, we're going to come over here and do the same on the right hand side, and we're going to lift it. Now we're going to go the other way, and this is going to place us just perfect to having the yarn guide moving, the shell moving in the counterclockwise position when we're done hanging our toe, and we can just continue on with the foot. So this needle needed to come up, which it has. Now these 2 needles right here, these 2, need to go down. So I'm going to push those down, and from now on out I'm going to be doing it with my thumb, so it'll be kind of hard to see until I've actually done it. And we'll move our weights up as close to the top as we can get it, and hang them and leave them. On the way, shaping on the way back, you rarely have to shift your weights. It just continues on down very nicely because it's in that crux where the weight is being distributed to every needle as it's going along. All right, we're just going to do our 1 up, 2 down, and without any commentary. Okay, now we're on our last pass. We've done this side. Now there's our half mark right there. We need to bring it back around and include these two needles. So these two needles will go down, which includes the wrap that was done on the very first row, which means then that you need to shape both of the stitches, the wrap and the stitch that are on either side of the half mark on both sides. So now we'll put these two down, which is the stitch, the first stitch made, and then the wrap that was done on the very first round. And we'll lift, always lift, and then put into work the two on the opposite side. And now we're done with our toe. Now the next thing to do is to reach this up and wrap it. I don't know if you saw that. That's the tail, the very first part of the first row, your tail. You pull it up, taunt it up, and wrap it around that first needle, which would make a second wrap on it, and then you knit it off, actually knit around it, and pull it over. Now you stop here in the back. And you do that because you need access and need to put your needles down in order to start your hang. We're also going to take our latch tool, a flatbed latch tool. We'll use this several times. And we'll pull our yarn tail through on the very first loop shape and then lock it right there. And then we'll work that in. There's different times, but if you'll run it and work it in along the line of shaping, it'll never come out and it'll never show. Okay, so we're putting our needles down and we're taking our weight off. And we're taking our weight out, the soft weight on the bottom, just like that. And so now we're going to kind of look, see how that reaches over there without any trouble at all. It really will be just fine, and by and large when you shape it that way.